We're back.
We're back, everybody. Don't worry.
Take two.
Yeah.
Take two.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're back. This I gotta say all that shit again. Basically, YouTube blocked the video or the stream or whatever because there was a small clip that was inappropriate. They said, but you know, whatever. I'm strongly against censorship, and I really don't give a shit. You know, so.
Ironically, we're covering a couple of banned films today as well. And these
films aren't. They had to go through their shit. Now, one of the guys, he ended up doing 6 months in prison. For one of the films. So
isn't that crazy? UK. Yeah, producer.
The producer, yeah.
They as the company, production company.
Let me check the chat right quick. But this is An Hour to Kill, episode 23. We have Chris the Slasher Dude as a special guest.
Yeah, man.
And this just in episode 4. We're going to be talking about Don't Go in the House, Maniac, and Nightmare and a Damaged Brain. And I'm only doing that because, you know, I know people in the stream already heard me say all this, but future views or whatever. So, but let me check the chat right quick, man, and we'll go ahead and jump into this thing. All right. While Wrangler, what happened? Yeah, it was inappropriate nudity in my intro, I guess. It's barely. I mean, I don't understand it.
The YouTube nasty.
Basically naked, but she's in flames. I mean, you can't see shit, but whatever. Holland says got taken down because of airwaves. Yeah. Yeah. Wild said he missed the nudity. Gizmo said it's the blob. Yeah. very, very well could be. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's saying, hey, reanimator nudity. Yeah. Hopefully this don't get flagged. I mean, damn, can I do anything? Do I need to wear handcuffs in a gag?
I was going to say, the intro to this one was probably worse because you got Linda Blair giving it the old crucifix.
Yeah.
And that seems to have got by.
Well, that's okay.
It's a VHS like too, so it's slightly blurred.
But I don't know.
Makes no sense. That's all YouTube.
Yeah. So, let's see what Gizmo said. I seen your rotten today, and it looks like you had a mixed bag. Oh, he's talking about He's talking to Texas. Okay. The panel of pain. Hell, I like it, man. Hell,
hey, Texas.
Thank you, Texas. Always. Legion of Doom.
Yeah, people are hollering. People are just talking. That's cool. All right. So Darren's gonna jump this thing out the gate with some very fiery nudity goodness.
Yeah.
Should have called it Pyromaniac. That would have been a better one too.
Don't go in the house because there might be a maniac with nightmares and a damaged brain.
Exactly. So very excited to talk about this one first up. Just in case you missed it earlier, there's the 2-hour editions. And that's the one to get because it's 3 discs and it's got a video nasty. You get to see it in video nasty mode with trailers and all that shit.
That's fine.
But yeah, I don't know where you guys first saw. Well, I know Chris has recently saw this. I think Dirk's seen it 3 times. Yeah. But I saw this back in the day on like a really shitty, VHS transfer. And it kind of give it that feeling of being like really realistic to me. And I'm talking, not early days. I'm talking about 20 years ago because one of my mates came over with a bunch of, video nasties and we decided to copy them onto disc. And I love this film. So we're talking about Don't Go in the House, aka The Burning was its original title.
Yeah.
And I think there's a few
really
more.
Yeah. Probably more than The Burning. I don't know.
Because they do actually say. Yeah, they do actually say that they had to stop doing the Burning title because of the Burning the film, but that didn't come out till at least like a year, 2 years later. So,
Right.
a couple of people on the extras of this Blu-ray say like different things. So, you don't know who to believe. But I believe the version that I saw was the producer just basically wanted the Don't title because of Don't Look in the Basement and titles like that at the time.
Don't answer the phone. Don't
Don't
go near
answer the
bar.
phone.
Don't
So
shit on the
I think,
toilet.
yeah.
Yeah, don't answer.
But something really cool I got packed away somewhere, but I've actually got the Mexican poster with it actually being called The Burning.
Nice.
Oh,
awesome.
But
it's packed away so much that it would have took me about 3 hours to get it out.
That's one you need to frame and slap on the wall.
Yeah, right next to
you love this damn movie.
Yeah, it's like, look, I got both Burning films,
Right, yeah. So we got Dunk in the House, 1979, directed by Joseph Ellison. You got starring, you got Donnie, who's played by Dan Grimaldi, who I've got to say absolutely nails it, but we'll come on to that.
He does.
So you got, after the death of his abusive mother, a deranged man, Donnie, starts to lure women back so he can burn them alive. And if that don't grab you, then I don't know what will.
Yeah, and he's got these voices in his head, like,
yeah.
So all three of these films are basically about some type of childhood trauma. So,
right, yeah, they are very. It's the reason we picked them, because they're very similar in different ways.
Right.
And we'll come on to that because you've even got endings that are kind of very similar as well. But
it kind of shows the view. Like, I would say all three show the perspective from the killer.
Yeah, from the killer.
Yeah,
almost a psycho feel to it. The mommy issues type of a thing.
Especially
another quick thing there, Darren, you'll mention it. The director, interesting director. He directed another film called Joey in 1986, and he did another one. I think he did one other one, but interesting kind of director. This seems to be kind of his only, horror type of slasher type of a film. And like you say, it's on the list of the I wrote it down here, so excuse my bad handwriting here, but on the list of the DDP, a 72 list of video nasties. So the list is 72. So it's on that list.
Yeah, this was the original list.
So I like that it's filmed in New Jersey. Starts out in an infirmary, which I think is a very interesting scene. You'll probably talk with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So the film actually starts off, and we got this match is being lit on a stove, and then we see kind of this mass like burning. So basically, straight from the off, you've got Donnie. He's this loner. He's kind of he's finding it hard, I think, to make friends. He's really kind of just one on his own, and he's actually, that he's at work, and one of his work colleagues actually gets set on fire. I think there's an aerosol can, and then Donnie just completely freezes.
Yeah.
So he's just
no emotion whatsoever.
He's frozen from the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
He's infatuated with it, in my opinion. He looks at that, he just needs to be infatuated.
Fire, though. And it's an obsession, but it's like a fear as well. Like,
Yeah, because we will come on to that, the reason why he has a fear of fire. Right. But the whole scene is fantastic. Like the fire stunt they do with the guy. And then you've got his boss then, and basically he's got his best friend in this film all the way through, who's kind of what's the word? Like, he just keeps on and on, like, Donnie just doesn't want to know, really.
He's a wife beater type of a dad too. You notice there with the kids,
and all
that stuff.
Oh God, yeah, it's he turns into the biggest asshole as well, yeah. But yeah, like Dirk said, he's got these voices in his head. Yeah. They're telling him to do different things. They're saying different things over and over.
It's kind of like a self-defense mechanism, kind of like these imaginary friends, because he didn't have any. Yeah. Like what you get from it, like you don't really you get the impression that his mother didn't allow him to do shit really, or have friends, or
ultra religious, that type of a family, ultra religious. You get that back in those times.
I'm just going to go ahead and mention that the father left, so it seems like the mother just takes it out on him.
Yeah,
she's pissed off at him because of the dad leak.
I kind of forgot about that because he does mention that.
But
it kind of doesn't go completely into detail with that. It was either a one-night stand, or like you say, the father may have left really early on in the relationship. But so he goes back, after work, and he finds his mother dead in the chair.
Yeah.
It's kind of a chilling like scene, really. But rather than be sympathetic and all that,
well, he kind of just he starts freaking out at first,
momentarily,
and then the voice
has been with her forever, right? Yeah. And then you see
you can do whatever you want now. Like, you're free.
Yeah, so he keeps getting these voices now saying you can do whatever you want. He starts jumping on the furniture.
Yeah, the whispers and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're so fucking creepy, though. The sounds of these people talking to him. Really creepy.
I mean, I was just imagining, like, when I'm watching it, I'm like, damn, these are like little demons, who just whispering shit.
Yeah.
The damage.
However you want to look at it, but
it's very psycho-esque with the voices and stuff like that, and the whole mother thing. That's what I love kind of about that. Yeah, that, like you say, he starts to, he turns that record player on and turns that music hella loud and shit like that. Like he's a little kid. He's like, woohoo! The parents are away. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But I actually think, I don't know about you guys, I actually think that this lives in the shadow a little bit to Psycho, and I think unfairly, because this film stands on its own for me. I think
it does for me too. Yeah.
No, it's in the shadow of Psycho, but it does its own thing. Like as far as like with Norman Bates, you don't know until the end that his mother's been dead the whole time.
Yeah.
And this one, it's like she's gone.
It's a similar ending to another film that we're going to discuss, but it's a very similar ending. So I see what you kind of did there, Darren, with having these three films particularly. The endings are almost exactly like almost the same type of thing. I thought was kind of cool. I was like, whoa, look at this.
God, yeah. Yeah, you'd be amazed. Like, if anyone's watching this and have not seen the three films before, maybe seen one or two of them, watch them in order and you'll be amazed at the similarities.
Yeah, you will see the parallels big time.
Yeah, absolutely. But take nothing away from all three, mind. They all do their own thing and they're all great in their own way.
Right.
But so we got the flashback scene then, of Donnie, little Donnie. He's been a naughty boy. His mother's kind of putting his hands over the flames, and it's a flashback scene that we get to see quite a bit during the film.
Mm-hmm.
And there's child abuse, going on at a serious level here. But so that's basically sets up the film then. So you've got basically his friend then, Bobby's trying to, see how he is, after the accident, that guy. Mm-hmm. But Donnie seems to be, like Chris said, almost psychopathic, where he just doesn't have no feelings at all. He seems completely cold to everyone.
For sure.
So but
and you notice, like, I'll add something though, like, so
absolutely.
The house itself is a character, and it looks like a great house on the outside. It looks normal. It kind of is kind of creepy a little bit, but once you get inside the house, it's fucked up everywhere.
It's a trippy
being
house.
A painter, I just noticed. I mean, I'm sure anybody would notice. You don't got to
notice that.
To notice, but it especially fucking fucks with me when I'm watching it because I'm seeing all the walls are fucked up and like, you know what I mean? But it's kind of like a reflection of Donnie. Like, fucked up, and the house looks good. Like, it's
absolutely
normal.
Man.
Yeah, in his eyes, it looks normal. And quick thing, like I said, to your point there, Darren. Yeah, the UK cinema was cut by the BBFC, so that's included in this Blu-ray right here. That's the cut that you're talking about. I think the Video Nasty one. Of course, it was during that time. The towards the end, the two ladies that are in there mention that, right? Where they seem to be a little bit too, you know, flustered a little bit like that. And one of them giggles about it. It's like, oh, look at this wallpaper, you know, it's bad.
Oh, God, yeah. The
like,
drunk girls at the end, they're fantastic.
But this was filmed on location.
Yeah.
At the Strauss Mansion, Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey.
Yeah.
But that's really.
I wonder if that house is still up there, dude. Going there and just going past that, be interesting.
Yeah, you can actually. I think some historic company bought it.
Nice.
What they actually do now, they actually put on showings of Don't Go in the House.
Nice.
In the actual house itself.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do a tour, I think, as well. But funny enough, you mentioned the house. It was rumored back in the day, and definitely since, that it's haunted. There's been a ghost, I think, called Bob, that they know about in this house. It's really creepy. He's been seen and everything. Right up until this day, this ghost, you know, and you can tell just by the creepiness of the film back
it's
in
an old school
1979.
Victorian-esque looking house, you know. They don't make houses kind of like that anymore. The wood and all that other stuff too. I like houses like that. Yeah, it's trippy. Creaky floors, all that shit.
Yeah. I think it was built in the late 1890s or something like that, but you can tell it's creepy as fuck, man. I wouldn't like to stay a night in there, even now.
Let me catch the chat right quick.
Yeah, man, yeah.
It's Gizmo says, only seen 2 of the films tonight. Best is Maniac, but Nightmare is a great one. Okay. So you've never seen Don't Go in the House. Interesting. Yeah.
You'd like that one,
That's
Gizmo.
surprising.
Yeah. Castellar, Daniel Garcia. Thanks for being here, man. Roland Emmerich.
Yeah. Hi, man.
Joey making contact.
Yeah.
Okay. And we got Sean Blue Digital. Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, Sean.
Hey,
what's
man.
up, my man?
Thanks for showing up, man. Wild Wrangler says house I live in was built in the 1940s.
Very nice.
That's not too bad. Yeah.
Very cool.
But yeah, the scene I want to get to now is he goes like kind of window shopping and he sees this like firefighters World War II
right. Yeah. Right.
Right.
And that is such an iconic look, I think, in any film.
Yeah.
And for this at the time, I mean, you cannot look at this picture of this like fucking outfit without thinking of this film. It's just an incredible.
AKA the Exterminator, you know.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we got that, you know. There's a few scenes I definitely want to talk about, you know. First being Donnie when he buys these flowers. So he's knocking on this, you know, this flower shop's basically closed. You got the assistant, she's ready to go and all that. He kind of begs her, he says, you know, my mother's sick, I want some flowers. So begrudgingly she lets him in
pretty much.
Yeah. And then when she's out the back, then you can see Donnie looking over and you can tell he's up to no good. So he gets the flowers. Then this young lady, very beautiful lady, she kind of gets harassed then because she's missed her bus. And there is actually, I don't know if you noticed, there is actually a sign on that bus about child abuse, which is kind of intentional.
Oh,
no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the director said it was intentional, but in a couple of the other interviews I read or seen, they say it was just an accident. But I don't believe that.
It's like, hey.
Yeah.
I mean, I could very well see it being that way, especially the way it ends, the way the movie ends.
It's definitely intentional by the director.
A quick thing about that, Darren, like you say, when he goes into, because the suit is in that same shop, right? The suit's in that same shop when he sees it, or is that in another place? Because it makes me wonder, because he didn't steal that, right? Because he has his own uniform from there. Because it makes me think he stole it, but then I'm thinking about how could he steal it when he's in there getting the flowers? Because she was only away for like a second. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, so, he didn't get that at the flower shop though. He got it at a different shop.
Okay, that's what I was kind of thinking.
It doesn't show you him buying it either. This firefighter.
He just looks at it through the window, but
yeah.
But you can tell it's going to be a prominent part of the film just by the way it's shot. But But then, you know, you come into a scene now that's quite hard to watch, actually, because he takes this woman back to his house to visit his mother or to say hi to his sick mum.
All she wanted to do is go home.
Yeah.
That's a good creepy slow burn too. Takes her in there and says, "Just give me a second. Can we stop here?" Right. So it takes a second. She's looking around. You know.
I'll back up a little bit because like she's getting off work. She misses her bus because of him, and then there's these hooligans. You know, I guess you call them. They're all drunk and shit and making comments toward her. And he's like, "I'll give you a ride," and she don't want to walk past these guys because they're all being real kind of pervy, kind of sons of bitches, but
being pricks.
So she gets a ride from him. That's how it all started.
Yeah. And he takes her back to his house, obviously.
Right.
And what he's been doing up until this point, he's been doing some kind, since his mother's died, he's been reinforcing this one room into like a steel room.
Yeah.
They kind of show him.
They show him doing that, like hammering the stuff on the windows and shit like that. Like, wow.
Absolutely. And then, you know, we're going to do spoilers, I guess, for this film. It's just going to be hard to discuss without them.
Yeah. So if you haven't seen it, you might. Well, are you spoiling the end or anything? Or no?
Well, we don't have to spoil the end, no.
Okay.
But some of the kill scenes we're going to have to spoil, I think, because there's no way you can talk about this film without mentioning them.
Yeah.
But this actual kill scene in this film now coming up. So we've got her. She's like hung up to basically hung up to the ceiling. And he kind of uses a flamethrower and he burns the fuck out of this lady up. Yeah. And it's done in such a way that it looks real. I think they do it with like 2 mirrors or 2 cameras.
Yes.
And the director said he was fucking amazed by how real this looked.
It's more terrifying when you do it like that, you know, where you're like, what's going on when you hear it?
It holds up. I mean, it really does. Like when you watch that shit, it's like, fuck, man. Because
you'll be amazed just
by looking screaming, and you know that like burning is like. Many say that burning's the worst damn death, you know.
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh God, absolutely, yeah. So, but this scene is probably iconic. Everyone who's seen this film will never forget. You know, I think that's probably one of the greatest scenes in slasher history. I know
it's so hardcore, man.
Yeah, it is. It is funny when, and they mentioned that too on IMDb when he's pouring the fluid on her and stuff like that. He puts it on her hair. Yeah. And you notice that hair is like dried up like that a little bit. I'm like going, I can see that happening, you know, like in film during that time. I thought that was just kind of funny because you see him trying to like just do that and stuff like that. I'm like going, that's what kind of freaked me out because I'm like going, oh, he's going to douse her, you know. It's like, here we go.
Yeah. So that kind of like starts his kind of serial killing spree. He then picks up this female then whose car's broken down as well. Pretty shortly after, he kind of burns her up as well. You know where this film's going from this.
Yeah, and then he's taking the burn victims, and then he's dressing them up.
Yeah,
he sits them in a room.
I think with his mother, right?
At him, he screams at him and like bitches at him like his mother bitched at him. I'm guessing, and he's like,
yeah,
and because he keeps hearing voices in his head and shit. So he's like, they're like his family now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, what does he say? There's one part he says something about, if you say that again, or if you laugh at me or something, I'm going to turn the light off. And
yeah.
I won't leave the light on for you.
Like he mentions to him, if somebody's over, he's like going, okay, we're going to get somebody new here, right? So I want you all to be nice. If not, we're going to have a problem, you know? Because they're like set around in these chairs. Like it's like a round table. You know, freaky stuff.
It's so fucking creepy. Just, you know, makes like kind of reminds me a little bit of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This film in places, certainly the grittiness and all that is, you know. But yeah, he even like harasses this woman at the grocery store. She's kind of getting her, you know, groceries, and he tries to like say, oh, you know, let me help you. You know, I'll take you to your car And I mean, he's so creepy with all these fucking voices in his head, like you say as well. Like laughing as well in his head. It's really creepy. But then, you know, this film then goes into like this dream sequence, right? And I don't know if you guys had seen the trailer before you've seen the film, and this one scene is heavily featured in the trailer. So I think it's one of my favorite scenes. So you've got Donnie's on the beach, like we get like this creepy music. All we see early on in the scene is just fire.
Oh, right.
And then he's grabbed literally by all these zombies.
Right.
And he's kind of pulled back.
Burn victims.
Yeah.
Zombies,
Burn victims. They kind of surround him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's dragged away. And then straight after, he sees his mother at the top of the stairs, and she's saying, I will get you, Donald, and all this. And it's fucking creepy as fuck.
Dude.
Really creepy. We've even got like kind of a subplot with the church as well, with the priest.
The conversation with the priest. Yeah.
I do like the extended scenes though. Like, I mean, do you prefer that, or you like the theatrical better?
I like the extended. Well, when I do see it, I like extended stuff too. I like the conversations, specifically one.
I mean, not everything. I like a director's cut, like especially like Michael Myers Part 6. I mean, Halloween Part 6. Yeah, I don't like that director's cut. Shit on that, piss on it, burn it, throw it away. This one here though adds to it, like the conversation with the priest, more conversation with the priest, and then more conversations with the dead bodies in the chairs and shit.
It almost seemed like the priest's voice was kind of dubbed over. He was played by Ralph D. Bowman, and he's like, no, don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. No, what are you talking? I'm going to help you, right? I'm going to help you. It's like, you see him struggling. Yeah, you see him struggling with it. He like turns for a second, then he starts talking about it and stuff, And
he kind of goes in there to get holy water as well.
Yeah, he does.
Talking about the scenes Dirk said, there's one scene which is in the extended cut, not in the theatrical, when he kisses one of the burnt victims.
Oh yeah, that one too.
I thought that was really creepy. That could have made the theatrical. I do kind of prefer the theatrical because I think it's a little bit tighter and runs a little bit better. I think it's like 80 odd minutes. But I like, obviously like all three is one of my favorite films. But then, oh man, you got a scene coming up which is just absolute fucking gold, man. So his friend then, Bobby, kind of, they're on the phone and he says he's got these two women lined up and he's a sleazeball because he's got like a wife and kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of like him in a way, Bobby. For some reason, I don't know. He just seems like, he's kind of over a little bit too fucking much. Looking after Donnie.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
He just feels bad for him, kind of like, and he's really his only friend besides the damn dead, burned corpses.
Yes, he tells his boss about that. He's like, "Come on, give him a break," and stuff like that. And the boss is like not having that whatsoever. So
he's kind of a friend you would want because he's very loyal. But like I say, he's a sleazeball as well for what he's
loyal to his wife, but
nor the kids too. So, he's like watching the kids all run around and shit and sitting on his couch like this and stuff like that.
Watching the football or whatever. But so basically then he decides to meet up, with Bobby, with these two women in a discotheque. So he goes to get kitted out, in a full suit. Or I think he goes in just to get like a shirt and what have you. But the shop assistant, which is fucking brilliant, he's very camp. And he plays that scene amazingly well. He basically sees Donnie, takes advantage of Donnie really, and gets him, gets him to kit himself fully out and that. But then we get onto the disco scene, man. What do you guys think of this, man?
Yeah, it's funny because like he's mingling with the chick, and she's like really into him. It seems like. And she's like wanting him to dance, and he don't want to dance. And no matter what, he's not going to dance. So she goes to dance with somebody. So you're thinking, okay, well, she's just some slut, and she goes and dances with the dude. You think she's not going to come. She comes back to him, and she starts grabbing his hands. and then there's a candle, and she's pulling his arms over the candles, and he's having a flashback from his mother's torment, burning his shit over the stove. So then he just grabs that candle and burns her damn.
Yeah, right. Her hair catches on fire with all that Aquanet on it.
Flamed up. He just gets up and just walks out like a fucking robot.
Just fucking cold as fuck.
Yeah.
But
the brother goes after her, right? Because the brother is there.
Yeah.
Because one of the people say, "Dude, she just got messed up and stuff like that," and he chases him down, starts beating on him and shit like that. He gets off, then he drives off in that truck that he has. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
You know.
I think it's the actual scene where he actually gets her with the candle. I think it's one of the most unintentionally funny scenes you'll ever see.
It is. It's pretty true.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off. I couldn't help it, but
it's disturbing when you think about it. But I can't help but laugh when I
almost saw that scene too when Dirk mentioned that, where she's grabbing his hands and it's over the flame. I'm almost thinking the burn marks were still there on his wrist there at the bottom part of those hands. Because you see that, like, the sleeves are starting to come up, and then he starts freaking out. And he's like, screw this stuff, takes it.
Yeah, just fucking bam, man.
And just walks like the Terminator. Just walks out, you know?
Yeah, you don't see it coming either, you know?
Yeah. He's like,
it's just bang. But during that scene as well, there's a song called Boogie Lightning, which I fucking love.
I like that song.
I'm not a big disco guy. I never have been, but you know.
But the director was saying they would love to have actually had the song Disco Inferno for that scene. But you think about it, would have been amazing, but it would have cost too much.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, that would have been epic, I think, if they did
burn,
that
baby,
song.
burn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we all it's all sort of come up to this kind of. He goes off then after getting beaten up. He picks up these two drunk girls. I think the one is superb in her role. She's really, the dark-headed one. I think she comes across to me. She's kind of funny, but it does come across like really well. She plays that kind of character really well. Yeah. So he's up to no good now. He invites them back to the house. He says, "Oh, we can have our own kind of party."
Right.
They work and go to this.
Get some beer. And
he's like,
ain't no problem. Yeah.
And they kind of take the piss out of him as well, because when he says that he got jumped by these guys and he ended up
he's fabricating the story. Yeah.
Then he says something like, "Oh, you should have seen them, instead of me." Like, the state they were in.
He said he's like a former Green Beret or something like that. Red Beret.
Green Beret.
Yeah.
Green. And they're like,
and then the girls are just
Green Berets were in the army,
Exactly,
yeah, that's right. He said Marines or something, I think. Or something. I was like, dude.
Yeah, the girls are actually pissing themselves laughing at him.
They are,
because he's he's only about 5'2", and he's saying he fucking got jumped and beat these guys up.
Guys up, yeah.
But yeah, so he takes them back to the house. Obviously, we don't see what's happening straight away. You've got his friend Bobby there, and he comes running down the street trying to get the priest to fucking go over.
Yeah.
I mean, this is in the middle of the night as well. I don't know.
He goes to his house, I think, or the church, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he knew him. The priest knew him, and he knew his family. And not only that, he'd been telling Bobby that the priest was coming over to see his sick mom and all that shit. Remember? Yeah. So.
Oh right, okay,
mention that they knew the family quite
well. The way they did it. I don't see a lot of plot holes in this film.
Right, yeah. I just wondered whether that would happen like late at night, whether he would go for the priest.
Maybe in a tight community, like a small town like that.
Right, yeah.
House is in the middle of nowhere too, which is true.
It looks like a small community, small town type area.
I think it was in New Jersey, innit? I don't know that part of America. I don't really know America that well, but
it's probably the like in the country part of New Jersey, I guess you'd say.
Right, yeah.
Like me, I don't know either. I'm from the South.
Yeah, so it looked like it was like in the middle of nowhere. Really, it looks like there was nothing really close to it, house-wise. So yeah, so I kind of
like the Psycho House in a way.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah,
I think they did that on
purpose. But I coming into this review, I didn't really want to mention Psycho a lot because I do think it stands out.
Like that. It almost looks like a farm.
Can't help it mention Psycho though. I mean, it does its own thing, but it's a lot like Psycho, but it's its own thing too. So
yeah, absolutely, yeah. So the priest and his friend Bobby now they kind of break the door down. They come running up the stairs.
There's
and
no
Donnie's-
police to be found. That's one plot hole I did find.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's
Sorry,
no
Dick, what was
police.
that?
No
Yeah,
police
yeah.
officer anywhere to be seen in this
Which
damn.
is strange, yeah.
Especially after the
so-
burning the chick's hair and shit. Like,
Yeah, maybe they got to him.
Yeah, because the
pretty
brother
quickly.
threatens him. Basically, the brother threatens his friend like that. He's like going, dude, he's in deep shit. You know, I'm going to call the cops and all this other stuff. She's burned like, he kind of over exaggerates it a bit. I know it's from the hair and stuff like that. You know, I get it. But he says she's like burned all over, like third degree or second, something like
Yeah.
that.
might have though. He smashed that whole thing, and it probably had like fluid in that candle thing. You know,
It's like glass. It's like, dude.
or was it just a candle in there? I don't know.
But yeah, they come running up the stairs and you find these two girls, tied up and the one's ready, all fucking ready to be set alight.
Yeah.
Right.
But then you got the priest man with the flamethrower scene. Wait, fucking hell, man. It's done so well again.
What does he say to the priest? He says something to him. He's like, you lied to me or something like that.
And Wild Wrangler got a good point. She had plenty of hairspray also. Yeah.
Yeah, hairspray, like say,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Aquanet out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, he fucking flamethrowers this priest then. And it's such a great scene, like iconic scene. And it looks so fucking real, I tell you. Just going back and I've watched it a few times since, and it just looks so real, man. So yeah, he's got all these burnt bodies then in one room, and then he hears them telling him that the priest lied to him, I think it was. And,
Priest.
they're all liars. Everyone's liars. All these voices going in his head. Didn't he say something like, I bring you into my home, giving you love and shelter, and you all turn on me.
Yeah.
And I still let you stay, saying to these fucking burnt, bodies.
That's great.
One of the best endings, I think, as well, coming up.
I gotta bring that up though. Like when the dude at the incinerator place or whatever.
Yeah.
When the guy's on fire, and the other dude Ben or whatever is getting on him about the shit, bitching at him.
Do something. What you do something?
Yeah, but like when they're in the locker room, he says he was covered by the flames. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right?
Like it's some kind of comforting embrace to be fucking
almost poetic.
Up in flames, Like
to that scene, Darren, that you're mentioning, where you see him kind of all rise up, right, and go after him. I'm like, oh, the shit just hit the fan. It just hit the fan.
God, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So you got one. I think one of the best endings ever. All these corpses and burnt corpses come back to life. Like he fucking basically flamethrowers them.
He does.
His dead mother and like the bodies kind of get Donnie and they drag him into the flames. But this is kind of the precursor to the end.
Yeah.
And I just think, they could have ended like that and it would have been great. I think personally.
Mm-hmm.
But then we got the radio broadcast saying, that basically, 5 people have been killed. And kind of it then goes to this young boy.
Yeah.
And then you can see the whole film like in some kind of cycle.
His mother comes in there smacking the shit out of him. And it's like, son of a bitch.
That's the sweet spot right there.
And
I have to admit, that was the
camera
spot.
Just focuses in on that kid.
Yeah.
And you're just like, damn.
Right.
They really hit you in the head with the child trauma shit in this one. But
and I mean, I try not to spoil the film, but I don't think it was possible, really.
Nah.
It's iconic. Yeah. It's iconic for what it is.
I don't think it takes anything away from watching the film, though. Really,
Love it.
Yeah.
There's not a big it's not like a big mystery or any. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. So yeah, basically, what's both of your like kind of summary like thoughts to sum it up?
To me,
or if you got anything else as well.
First off, I originally gave this film 7.5 out of 10. I think I gave it 3 stars and a heart on Letterboxd. But after that synopsis you did, Darren, and I have to watch the other version, this probably gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Great acting all the way around. Great direction. I like the idea of that being in the house. You know what I mean? It's in that. There's a word for that, right? Where everything, everything takes place in that house, which I really like. I do like the scene. It's definitely serial killer-esque, you know, like I said, because he's patrolling almost like a Ted Bundy type of a person, right? He sees the 2 girls. You know, he brings these girls in here. Very pretty ones, by the way. Great casting by them all. But yeah, all in all, a great slasher for its time. And filmed in New Jersey, to your point. And just for the fact I watched the TV version and it said The Burning when it's next to that infirmary with the flames, I'm like going, oh, I'm loving this already. So yeah, definitely great film, great slasher for 1979, year I was born. So it's good to watch shit like that. So
yeah, it's always good to, like, you know, put you on to like new films.
Yeah. Yeah, I was 2.
But yeah, Dirk, what'd you give it then, Dirk?
I give it I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. It's a solid one, man. I mean, the acting is on point. I mean, it's very original as far as like the killer's weapon of choice, and then the whole fact that he built a whole room to do his murders in. I mean, that's just crazy as hell. And then you got the child trauma angle, you know, which I know it's been done to death now, but back in '79, I mean, I know it was done, but you know what I mean? It's still speaking on, you know, on a real serious issue that's going on. Like,
it's post-war too. It's post.
I mean, if you look at all the real life serial killers, most of them had some kind of damn issue with their mother. And I highly recommend it, man. If nobody's ever seen it, I'd give it a go. It's got some beautiful cinematography. Like, there's one shot in particular when it's outside of the house and you see like the trees and the skyline. It's like purple, blue looking sky and shit. I mean, it's screaming with atmosphere. And there's so much snow. It's like snow outside.
Yeah.
Everywhere. So then it's so cold outside, but then, you know what's going on with the burning shit. I mean, it's insane. So,
but they actually said that a member of the crew actually caught pneumonia because 2 of the floors they were staying on of that in the house during filming. I think the top floor was kind of this family who owned the house was staying, and that had all the heat. But they said it was so cold. I think they left a glass of water out in one scene where the mother's in the chair. I think they come back a little bit later and it was fucking frozen solid. They said conditions were awful to work in. I've got just a couple of little other things. The woman who gets burned up, you know, at the start of the film, she was actually a Playboy bunny.
Okay.
And she was kind of, they were a bit, you know, didn't know what to do with like shooting her naked, but she was kind of used to it. She was saying, yeah.
It's like, why not? Yeah.
I'll do whatever you want, basically. The reviews were awful, but apparently Quentin Tarantino's one of his favorite films. And the director, actually, Joe Allison, thinks that since Tarantino said that, a lot of people are coming onto the film now, and kind of it's just gone full circle where they didn't actually, when the film first came out, it was come out at exactly the same time as Friday the 13th. And he said he went to see Friday the 13th in one sitting and Don't Go in the House in the other. He said while watching Friday the 13th, you know, people were jumping up and down, chucking popcorn. And he said when they went in to see Don't Go in the House, it was just fucking silent, man.
Yeah.
People were just there with their fucking mouths open.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely.
That was kind of funny. He reckons Joseph Allison reckons he come up with the idea of Scary Movie before it was even done. Because he said he had an idea for a film called Scary Movie, which was going to be a send-up, like a comedy. Right. He reckons he registered the name as well, which I don't know. And someone obviously pinched it, you know. But I don't know how true that is. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, I got loads on if I could go on, but I don't want to, don't want to take up too much time. But I just
find that funny. Boy, to be back around during that time to do a double showing of that, and literally watching Friday the 13th, the OG, my favorite all-time slasher, for the first time, and people throwing popcorn and shit. They probably had beers in there too. They're like going like, yeah, I just like, this is great,
but,
you know.
It's like, what a fucking time to be alive. Can you imagine? Because every week you had prom night, you had My Bloody Valentine, Terror Train, and they were just coming. Curtains, these were coming fucking every
early
week.
80s.
Don't answer the phone. I mean,
yeah,
it's another one that don't.
That's
early 80s for slashers was a huge boom. They made millions of dollars. They were all blockbusters, to tell you the truth. People shit on them now. They said that in, was it Student Bodies? They say that slashers during this time and stuff like that grossed more than any of the films during that time. They just did. People just went in droves to see them. So,
yeah, you got that sweet spot of like 1980 to about 1982, where
84, I think, was the last good time for that, because we got Part 4, Friday the 13th. You know, we got Nightmare on Elm Street during that time. I think that was the last of it.
Yeah, but they kind of went down in different quality then after that. But yeah, so yeah, that's Don't Go in the House. Highly recommended, as we always say.
Right. I'm gonna check the chat right quick. Let's see. Wild says the house is a character.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Who says I'm a Tyrannosaurus?
Sexosaurus.
And then he said, I just saw Bubba Hotep, and it's fun as hell when he talks about the cancer on his D.
Wow, is that the first time Gizmo's ever seen that?
Yeah.
I think so.
That's crazy.
And Wild Kung Fu Elvis.
Kung Fu Elvis, yeah.
Yeah.
And Blissful's in the chat. Hi, Dirt.
Hey,
Blissful.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, how's it going?
Good to have you, yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get into some Maniacs.
I got the same edition as Chris. Got a different edition there, I think.
Probably the worst landlord you'd ever want. You know.
Is that what he is?
Frank Zito.
That's what he is. I didn't know that. Wow. I didn't know that, because I'm wondering, like, what's his job? I always wondered that.
Well, yeah. So this is Maniac, 1980. The greatest, one of the greatest taglines. I warned you not to go out tonight. You know. So I'm just going to start out with Spinell saying, this is a quote from Spinell. He said, "It's a suspense film that delivers on the murder scenes."
Yeah.
And I think the suspense in this film is fucking amazing. Like two kills in particular. Yeah, two kills. No, shit, three kills.
Three.
Yeah. But so so I'm gonna just give this a brief synopsis. So Frank Zito is abused by his prostitute mother. So what she did was she locked him in the closet while she had sex with multiple men. And I guess he could see through the crack in the closet. Or she told him, she didn't lock him in it, but she told him not to come out, right?
He talks about that in third person. Yeah.
Yeah. And so it definitely fucked his head up. And so he's a serial killer, man. He's going around, he's killing these women, and he's keeping them, as he puts it. He's going to keep them.
Right.
And yeah. He scalps them, and not all of them, but he scalps 2 of them, I think, and then puts their scalp on a mannequin, and then now they're part of his family, you know. And he talks to them, he brushes their hair. I think like the first prostitute he kills in the film, he takes her fingernails and puts them on a mannequin as well, and her clothes and everything on her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's creepy as fuck, man.
The scene with the bird cage, and the doll is in the bird cage, and he's all putting all the thing. Here you go, you know, all that stuff. I'm like, whoa, boy.
Like, have a cracker.
Have a cracker, yeah.
Yeah. It's just,
I think that was all improvised as well.
It was.
Spinell just come up with that on the
produced this, so
because Joe Spinell, like this guy's been in Rocky 1 and 2, The Godfather. I mean, some banger ass movies.
Yeah.
Like very
Cruising,
well known.
of course.
Was that?
He's been in Cruising as well.
Oh yeah.
Him and Stallone were very good friends. You know.
Yeah, apparently Stallone was on his ass, right? And Spinell kind of took him under his wing.
Yeah.
And like Stallone never forgot that. You know, even when he made it big with Rocky.
Stallone for sure. Yeah.
Stallone tried to get him in all his films, you know, up until his death.
One thing I remember about this film was
he tried to get Stallone in Godfather, but it didn't work out. But
I know because I've read the booklet in this one right here. They were originally going to get the actor who played Damian Karras to play the detective hunting him down. Now, I couldn't imagine a scenario like that when I think about it now. That'd be really trippy. Like, you know, he's doing this stuff and then it switches to his character, like saying who did this and stuff like that and him trying to track him down. I thought that'd be
right. I didn't know that, actually. That's great.
I like how this is, though, because you're following Frank Zito the whole time. It's all, you got these POV shots from him, like the whole film. So it kind of like tries to sympathize like with him, but the gore's ramped up so much you can't really sympathize with.
You can't, no. Yeah.
Unless you're just some kind of twisted son of a bitch, you know. But it's so I would say it's a more dark, realistic type horror film compared to most, you know. So his weapons of choice is a double barrel shotgun, knife, his bare hands.
Is that a bayonetta that he uses?
Yeah, it's like a long ass bayonet type. And then he's got a straight razor too, but I think that's just like his little hobby tool for cutting the scalps off, you know.
Yeah.
I think like Bill Lustig, this is by far his best film. I don't think he ever hit the heights. I know he did a few, you know, Maniac cop films.
I did too.
But I wanted to say early on with that scene with the prostitutes outside the hotel, that hotel was actually used in Cruising. And another really creepy part about it was at that time, you know, when they're filming that scene in the hotel lobby with Bill Lustig plays a cameo, 2 women were murdered on 42nd Street. 2 prostitutes were murdered. They even went as far as to take 2 mannequins, dressed up the prostitutes' clothes on these mannequins to try and jog people's memories. So all this was going on the same fucking time in real.
Wow.
You know, while this film.
I can see that during that time in New York and stuff like that.
Yeah,
a lot of bad shit happened.
Is
the director the dude in the hotel? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's the guy.
With the cigar? Or smoking a cigarette talking to the other chick that's there?
Yeah.
He's talking.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah, that's Bill Lustig.
A la Fulci doing his stuff.
But but like this film has like some of the best, like great stalking scenes.
Yeah.
It's like when this came out and people seen it, and especially like in like the big cities like New York and stuff like that, the women were fucking terrified. The ones that seen the film, like, because it plays on a lot of those situations, getting on a subway late at night, you know, walking around late at night type of shit. Like even a home invasion, right? Because there's that too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's even a damn couple making out in a car. I mean, that is directly was inspired from Sam Berkowitz, the son of Sam. You know?
Right.
Is that him actually going on that car and doing that? It's almost like he slides on the hood.
Savini did that.
Well, I mean, with Zito's character, right, going up on the car, because he literally runs like it's in slow motion. It looks like he hops on there. That's actually him doing that. What a great actor. And just literally goes in.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's done in slow motion and goes real quick. I was like, damn.
And then, like what Dirk said, Savini actually did the shotgun.
He shot the shotgun. And then
but it is Zito jumping up on.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's
it's him jumping on the car, but the shotgun blast is Savini, and then they had to get the hell up out of there because it was guerrilla filmmaking, no permits,
Right.
shooting a live gun.
You're on location. Yeah, you're on location.
And got the hell up out of there. But I know this film's been talked to death, but I kind of wanted to touch on some other things that I've always found. Like, I've always wondered, like, because Daria Nicolodi was supposed to play Anna.
Really?
Instead of Carolyn Monroe. And I
didn't know that.
In my mind, thinking that, I think it would have been a better film. Like, I think it would have, I mean, it's already great, but I think it would have been even better with Daria Nicolodi.
Yeah, because Monroe's only in there for not too long. You know, it's a brief kind of relationship type of a thing, but she's really not in the film for that long. It's mostly on him.
She's not. And she befriends him, and he's friends with her. And I think it's like a normalcy. Plus, he has respect for her because she's not a prostitute.
Yeah.
And she's not like a whore, you know, like her mother was.
The pictures that she has.
It's almost like there's nothing sexual with them. It's almost like it's like the mother that he wished that he had, you know.
That's right.
So I'm guessing Daria Nicolodi was actually filming Shock for Mario Bava.
Yep.
And the shoot actually went over. Yeah, the shoot went over, so they couldn't get her back, you know, in time to do this film.
Oh, wow.
Caroline Munro was kind of asked the night before shooting to do the film, and I totally agree with Dirk that if I had to say one kind of thing didn't work in the film, it's her performance for me. You can tell it's rushed.
She's a Bond girl, right?
Yeah, and they try to put her over. They really do. Like in interviews and everything, they're all like, "Oh, she's a great actress," and all. And I just
she's not.
Don't believe
really.
that. You know, like, I don't know.
With that, I like the way he comes in, kind of dressed the way he is and stuff like that. And he talks to her about the pictures. He's like, "You're doing these pictures. Like, I'm going to sell them. Why are you going to sell them?" You know, it's like it's like an art to it, right? Because they're yours. They belong to you, right? They're forever in that frame. I was like, dude, this guy, you know.
Yeah. But they did 3 films together. So they did Star Crash, which I've never seen. They did, of course, this Maniac, and then they did the last horror film, which is Maniac. I still need to see this. I haven't seen it yet. It's Maniac 2.
It's not that good, but apparently the new transfer makes it seem like a different film. So
that's what I keep hearing.
Yeah, a lot of people like that specifically for that cover because you can't get that cover anymore.
So I watched, and it's on this release. I can't remember if it's on this one or not, but I know there's a cable TV with Bill Lustig.
Yeah,
it's like 47 minutes, and they're taking calls from the callers and shit. People were losing their minds over this movie when it came out. The feminist groups, were like saying like, why does the victims always got to be a female? And it just works better if it's a female. You know,
it does.
It really does. Like, because of, you know, they're more vulnerable. They were just so against the shit. There was an organization called Women Organized Against Rape. WAR was their name. WAR. Women Organized Against Rape. But, you know, but so many people were shitting on it, man. Bad.
I think Siskel and Ebert, I was going to say, they do like a sneak previews where they did like a half-hour episode where they just absolutely fucking shit on every single slasher film. I think the only one they liked was Halloween, maybe.
I heard somebody said it was misogynist fantasy. A misogynist fantasy. And I'm just like, they're not even touching on the real issue of why he's doing what he's doing. They don't even say nothing about none of that, about his, you know, his upbringing as a child, like why his head's all screwed up, you know, why he's doing this shit, you know.
Just the beginning scene on the beach, just that scene.
But they can't deny the suspense, man, especially like the scene where he's stalking the woman in the subway, and then he follows her into the bathroom, and it pauses, and it's like he makes her think that he's getting away, and then she's like gets a relief, you know, and then just out of nowhere you get like it's a similar Halloween stinger, you know what I'm talking about?
It's one of the best scenes ever in a slasher film.
It's one of the best.
The suspense is just fucking absolute.
First time I seen that, made me jump out of my couch at the time, first time I saw that, because I'm thinking he's still there, but when she's washing her face and then she's like, whoo, right, gets right up and he's right there with that bayonet and just goes like that.
That scene reminds me so much of Dress to Kill.
Yeah.
You know the scene. Go on, sorry, Chris.
No, I'm sorry there, Darren. I'm saying he's talking to her too. He's saying something to her. It's like he's whispering to her, like or something like that. She's going down, down to the tile.
It's got the whole like Dress to Kill feel to it for me as well. In the subway scene, I mean, I don't mean the whole film.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I really love that scene though. It's killer, man.
It's one of the best scenes ever made, I think, in a slasher film. Honestly, it's right up there. You could watch that. Like, I was surprised that I haven't seen this film for a while.
Yeah.
And that scene alone is just worth the fucking price of admission alone. But did you realize that they asked him what he wanted to do early on, and he said he wanted to basically do Jaws on land, and that's why we have that beach scene at the start. The
first scene is an homage to Jaws for sure.
Yeah. So that's
like
weird.
He picks, because Spinner was a big dude. Shows him almost like Jason Voorhees, like picking him up, like that. You see the feet all like doing like that. That freaked me out.
That's a nightmare dream sequence though. So it's not real,
Right? Yeah, because
he was having a nightmare.
You can
they do mention that in the paper,
or a dream, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, they do mention in the paper that 2 people were killed on the beach, I think, or he hears it on the news because he seems to be infatuated with that. I think it shows in the paper.
It came straight out the newspaper.
Yeah,
like the inspiration to make this film.
Yeah.
So, but there was a great quote from Bill Lustig that I had to write it down when I was watching the interview with him. Well, he was on that show or whatever that's on this 88 films release. He says horror films represent the confrontation of one's fears. For example, walking alone at night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know. That's he nails it. That's what horror is. Like, so many people look at it like, oh, you're just being misogynistic, and these films are misogynistic against women and bullshit.
Yeah.
Tell me that it's going to be more effective if you take a man, and put him in that same situation. It's not going to be as effective. I'm sorry.
There was a couple of assholes who rung into that show, didn't it? I seen that show you're on about.
Yeah.
And the guy as well, who's actually with Lustig, kind of fucking talks too much and takes the fucking limelight a little bit too much. But it's definitely worth seeing that cable show.
And then
this is
I was cracking up, man, watching all those news clips from like 1980, 81. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these people were like out of their minds, man. Like,
it's crazy.
Just
crazy time.
So on against this film. Like,
it happened a lot in New York, man, because you had the people that come out for cruising and the film Windows with the lesbian and the gay aspect of that. People were picketing that film. People were picketing this film as well. It's crazy, man. Crazy time.
To think that you're going to watch a film and you could be a normal person, whatever the hell that means, and watch a film and then just turn into a fucking psycho killer. No, that shit don't work that way. Like, that ain't how psycho killers become psycho killers. And it's not from fucking cinema. It's not. I mean, if that's the case, then let's go back to the old paintings of all the French and Spanish Inquisitions. The motherfuckers were murdered and shit. You're gonna do that shit from looking at a painting? You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
It's just an insane way to think. Like,
horror fans are pretty much the nicest people you will ever meet anyway. I'm not just saying that because we are, but it's very rare you'll see, a horror fan of this type of stuff just go out and murder a woman and say, that was the inspiration and all that.
Right.
But they kind of had an unfair rap back in the early 80s because with this, the whole news footage and all that, people didn't.
And the disrespect to the special effects artists. The special effects artists, that's a craft, man. Like, they completely shit on that craft.
That's not easy. Yeah. It's not.
So, I don't know, man. Like I said, I was talking about Maniac, but most people I know have seen it. One of the lines from Frank, though, he says, "Beauty is a crime, punishable by death." Like,
Right. Yeah.
so does that mean that all the ugly women they're gonna make it? They don't got nothing to worry about.
Well, yeah. Dario Argento famously said, didn't he? People don't want to see an ugly woman get killed; they want to see beautiful women get killed.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Right.
But did you realize Sharon Mitchell, the porn star from the early '80s, is actually in this film? She plays the nurse.
Mhm.
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Yeah, the nurse that gets in the car, not the main nurse. That
Right,
goes,
the one, with her
subway.
boyfriend or husband or something.
Yeah, and the woman who gets murdered in her apartment, she was actually a porn star as well, because Bill Lustig kind of made a few porn
I noticed
films.
that a lot of these horror directors were, it's kind of like hand in hand in a way.
That scene in particular, right? The home invasion where he kind of knocks her out.
The other scene I'm talking about with the suspense.
Where he's struggling with it. Yeah, he's like, you're finally here, not letting you go this time, and all this other stuff. And then it's like he's trying to fight it. He's really trying to fight it, and it just doesn't happen. That's a brutal, awesome.
I'm talking about the part where he's in her apartment, though. Well, like when he fixes the lock on the door.
Yeah.
And right before he's fixing to leave, and then he comes back and does the home invasion. But that shit, the music comes in, something's bad's about to happen. But it's set up so perfect, the suspense in that one.
You actually see a crack in the door, like in the closet as well, and you think he's going to jump.
Yeah, he's in the closet. Right.
Yeah. He put that suspense of that scene as well.
Because he returns her necklace that he snatches from the photo shoot, right?
Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, so he's like, here you go. All right, you have a good day and stuff like that, or good evening. But like you say, so he's in there.
Yeah, while she's in the bath, he sneaks in there, and it's fucking creepy as fuck, man.
It's great music by Jay Chataway. I mean, the music from him that he put in here just totally gets the feel of the whole thing.
But it's misleading too, though.
Yeah,
because it's not like like you know what I mean. It sounds like I don't know. It's not I don't know. It's kind of happy.
It's not conventional.
Not happy, but
music.
I don't know how to explain it. It's
almost with the scene too, with the two kids on the swings and the two moms are talking, right? And you see them like going, no, you can't go on the bikes, but they go right past her when she can see them,
right?
And that's when Spinell stops the kid on the bike, like a la Halloween, where you see the kid like kind of stopping, because he grabs them and stuff like that. He's like, whoa, hold on there. That's when Moreau takes the picture of him. I'm like going, he's like thinking, to me, he's thinking, oh, she's seen my face. She knows what I look like.
A lot of people don't realize this either about Maniac, though. It's actually a Christmas film.
It is.
Yeah, I realized that, when I watched it the other day.
I was like, wow.
It starts off at Christmas. I think it ends so it's all basically done over the Christmas period.
Right.
Is that
no one ever
mentioned a BB gun that he has in his house there, or his unit that he's shooting? He puts on like the hat and all this stuff too, and he's like going, you don't see it hit the wall.
You got the wings on the hat, and he's got kill. It says kill on the wall. He wrote kill on the wall. And I wanted to ask y'all's opinion about that piece of art. It says born without and it's got a baby upside down.
It's like in Boss.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I noticed that.
And the baby's like stuck to the poster or whatever. And it says born without does that mean head? Mom? What are we talking about here with that piece of art?
It could mean anything, really.
That was probably Spinell made that shit when he was all fucked up, on drugs.
He was mad. Lustig was mad that he didn't keep any of those posters or anything, to do with the scene.
It's the scene with the mannequins where they almost look too real, where they're looking at him like on the table, where just basically where the shit hits the fan, right? Where they look like mannequins, but they look real at that time. They're looking at him, and he's like, he's kind of looking as he's bleeding to death, and he turns. Yeah. I'm like, well, what's going on here? It's like, it's finally, his mind's finally gone,
Right. Yeah. It's all going on in his mind.
Great stuff. Great ending.
I love how it ends, though, because the eyes come open,
Yeah, the last thing.
Right.
Police happened to shut the door to the detectives.
Yeah, they always did that shit. And it doesn't matter if they was ever going to make a sequel. They always did that shit in most of the horror, like slashers, back in the day.
They actually had a sequel.
You muted.
You muted.
You're muted. Yep. No?
Shallow, we need subtitles.
No, I don't know what happened. Maybe I still can't hear you. Come out and come back in.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. But yeah, Maniac gets that's a 9 out of 10 film for me. It's almost perfect. So,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm shocked it's not my top.
I'd definitely give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Easy. So there's a little 3-minute interview on this release with Carolyn Monroe, which I thought was strange because they said that people were calling her the Queen of Horror. I was like, what in the hell? Like,
yeah,
that's like,
because she's only done 2 really things with this, right? I know she's a Bond girl, but it's like really that's what it kind of came from.
That threw me off. Like Carolyn Monroe is the Queen of Horror. I mean, out of all the people, out of all the actresses.
Yeah, out of all the actresses, it's interesting. Like say, just the scenes, the deaths, all that stuff too. It's very haunting.
Right.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I got you there.
Good. I don't know what happened. Your internet, it looked fuzzy at first, and then it went out. But if y'all don't mind, hold on just a second. I'll be right back, y'all.
No worries. Yeah. So yeah, Chris, like you say, we were talking about Maniac. Got anything else you'd like to say, or do you want to?
Other than, like I say, the kills, the ending, and stuff like that, the conversations with Monroe's character. I like that, the conversations. The scene at the graveyard where I forgot he said the female's names, like so-and-so said it was you, where he grabs her. So-and-so says it from you. You see the mom coming out from the grave and grabbing him, and all this other stuff too. I'm like going, oh boy, look at this. And then she hits him with that shovel like hard, They
must have got like that scene where his mother comes out the grave must have been copied from Carrie. The ending to Carrie.
That's right,
Because I'm pretty sure I've heard Tom Savini mention that.
Savini with his zombie effects and shit like that kind of works really, really good. The ending with all the women, I was trying to point them all out, like going, okay, is this everybody? And, the whole thing with the head, that's typical Savini from Day of the Dead, on the bed. Where they're all going after that, and he's like freaking out. And then you just kind of see that ending where you kind of see from a distance, he has something stuck in his stomach, which makes me wonder what that is. You kind of they don't kind of focus in on that. And then, of course, you have the opening of the eyes at the end. And the detectives just decide to close the door, and stuff like that. They're just like disgusted by it, and they close the door. I'm like, okay. and,
So in that scene at the end, when we see it's one of the decapitated bodies. That was actually Betsy Palmer's from Friday the 13th. When they the actual torso, which was kind of freaky, man. But
you kind of see that. You see that with the other film we're going to talk about. But yeah, it's like you kind of see that. Yeah, the typical beheading type of a stuff where you kind of see that.
Oh god, yeah, and like you say, with Nightmare coming up, there's a lot of controversy with Tom Savini on that film.
Yes,
which we'll come into,
which is kind of funny.
But we still okay for time? Are you like?
Yeah, no, I'm all good. Yeah, no, you guys.
What's the latest you can head off here like?
Probably like 120.
Okay,
so 12:50 right now my time. So yeah, we're good. We're right on track. So all good here.
Okay.
But yeah, we're just mentioning the ending with the graveyard scene, and when his mother comes out the grave, I was saying to Chris, that's kind of. They got to have got that idea from Carrie, the ending to Carrie.
Yeah, for sure.
But fuck, man, it works.
I kind of felt like that maybe they might have. I don't know. They're so close together though. Like, but Don't Go in the House and Maniac are more alike.
No, they're very similar.
Than Nightmare and a Damn.
With all the ghosts of the women killed, getting revenge on the dude. I mean, how can feminists not like that? I mean, really? How can a feminist not like that ending scene with him? Specifically, with I was telling Darren, the beheading scene and stuff like that, right? Where that's all a Savini. That's totally Savini with that. That's Day of the Dead type Savini stuff, which he did later. But you just see it like gradually just start to pull that sucker off.
Yeah, I was saying to Chris, the torso of that was Betsy Palmer's torso that was used from Friday the 13th.
Right.
He kind of brought it on set to do that scene, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I love this film, Maniac.
But it's
fantastic.
This release, though, like I said, it's got quite a bit different stuff than this release. So,
right,
highly recommend to get this one if you're a fan. If if it's like whatever.
That's a cool cover for that too. I like that cover too. Good original artwork for that.
I mean, it's got some cool shit in it. I'll go ahead and show.
I got the Blue Underground DVD, but I didn't upgrade to the Blu-ray, so I just got this one.
Put the artwork on it, but it comes with the
OG,
nice,
just
with a nice book
cover of it, stuff like that. But yeah, it's an iconic cover.
It comes with a cool little book on the film.
You got a poster as well, isn't it?
And you got a pretty good, nice, commission artwork poster. And of course, it's got the old school artwork. But
I mean, that's really nice, man.
Evian Press did a graphic novel, the same Evian Press that did.
Got to have the old school. But that's another thing. They was tripping out on the billboard. They had a billboard of this, and it was on the side of somebody's building.
Yeah.
And they fucking took some white paint and painted over it. Like, they were just tripping out, dude. Like,
it is a pretty brutal scene with the severed head right there from the back. Holding it like
that. It's a woman's head, but I mean, they said it's a woman's head, but
yeah, we don't know. It could be a
That's
wig.
one poster I wish I got back in the day.
Yeah.
Because now, if you try and get that poster now, the original poster goes for really good money.
Oh yeah.
The best I could do, I got like a big Mexican lobby card of that image, which is like, for the poster you're talking hundreds and hundreds of pounds.
Okay.
But I've got a couple of things I wrote down. Do you know when they do that shotgun scene we was on about with Savini on, shooting the head? That was actually done by the bridge that's used in Saturday Night Fever. It's exactly the same fucking spot almost in that film.
Wow.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big man for Saturday Night Fever as well.
Okay.
But I don't know. I just enjoy bringing up these really fucking.
You wasn't in here when I mentioned it, Darren, but I wanted to see what you thought on this interview with Carolyn Monroe. That some people were saying that they considered her the queen of horror, and I was like, "What in the hell? Like, this is insane! Like, there's no damn way."
I mean, she's quite well known in the UK. She did quite a few Hammer films and stuff, and she's okay. But I so wish. I think if it had got Dario Nicolodi to do this part, it would have been a 10. It would have been a 10 because it would have made more sense. Because Caroline Monroe is
you give it a what do you give it, a 9?
A 9. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
gave it.
A 9. Yeah. But you think about it, Caroline Monroe is too fucking hot for this part in a way.
She is.
Nicolodi would have been perfect because she got, even though she was a beautiful woman back in the day, she still got this kind of, I don't know, like you wouldn't call her like traditionally beautiful, would you? She's got a kind of certain look.
She's beautiful, but she's not sexy.
Yeah. So
there's an air about her. There always was an air about her in the films that she did.
Right.
I mean, to me,
But there's a big connection as well with Lustig because he worked on Inferno as well with Argento. The New York City parts where they filmed in, with the rats and all that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so that's Maniac, y'all. I hope we did it justice. It's one of my favorite, definitely in my probably top 20 films of all time.
Legendary film. Yeah.
Top 20, do you say?
Huh?
Top 20 of all time, do you say?
Yeah, I'd say it's in my top 20. I don't know. I don't know what my top 20 are, but I would say it'd be in there somewhere. I know what my top 5 are. I can tell you that right off the top of my head. But anyway,
it's definitely top 20 slashers for me. But it wouldn't make my top, 20 films all the time. But it's slasher wise, it's got everything you want.
Yeah.
I think it's actually where you got Blood and Black Lace for the Giallo blueprint, I think Maniac is the slasher blueprint. It's almost kind of perfect in every way. You know, you've got the kills, you've got the suspense, you've got everything. You could watch that film and you could like literally make something similar, you know, in different with the kill scenes and come out with something really good.
You got the dread
blueprint. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend this release. And by the way, the movie had a $350,000 budget, and it made $4.5 million. So not too
that's
bad.
right.
You know.
Nice.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the hate that it got, I was just tripped out, like listening to some of these people talk.
Yeah.
Like just trying to police shit, just trying to censor shit, and you can kiss my ass for that shit. Like, and that's why I say physical media, man. It's why it's important to have physical media, because you can have Netflix, Hulu, all that bullshit, whatever, but
don't own it.
The film you watch today might not be there a year from now.
Yeah.
So, they always interchange that shit all the time.
Did you realize as well, right? You know, at the end of the film Maniac, you've got that severed head of, you've got Spinell's severed head.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, he actually kept that in real life. Yeah. Do you want to go on into it? Do you want to mention it?
Yeah. When he died in his mother's apartment, and she had died, like a year?
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And he really got heavy on the drugs and alcohol. And when the police came in, they seen that severed head from Maniac.
Oh, next to
there on the TV, right? It was on the TV.
On his TV, yeah.
And they thought it was like, holy shit. They didn't know it. They thought that was real.
Wow, that's trippy.
So that's kind of like his last hurrah, I guess.
Yeah, died in what, 89?
Yeah, 1989 he died. He fucking lived it up, didn't he? Caroline Monroe was saying they were good friends, but he was just he lived life to the full.
So during Maniac, he was 25, right?
He didn't look it.
That's insane to think.
How old was he when he died?
Huh?
Well,
how old was he when he died?
So
I'm not sure, but I know that
30 something.
He said he was 25 in the radio spot that I listened to. That's on this release right here. There's a good radio spot. It's about 20 minutes with him, Carolyn Monroe, and Bill Lustig. And he said he's like 25, 26. So I was like, what the
shit? I didn't realize that.
As hell. He looks about like 50, don't he? Like, shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's Maniac, y'all. Hopefully we covered all the bases and hit all the home runs and shit. I don't know. It don't matter. You know, it's cool. But I got to.
But let us know in your comments, like,
yeah,
you know, what you think of these 3 films as we go.
Let me catch the chat right quick. I need to back up a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Gizmo says Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell are probably banging right now. Yeah, probably are. That's random as hell.
That's just right. Yeah, that's why we love Gizmo.
Yeah,
crazy mofo.
Let's see. Sharon Mitchell is pretty sexy for a skinny woman. Yeah,
she got a unique look as well.
Yeah,
back in the day.
Gizmo says, so you're saying it's a remake of Christmas Blood? Talking about Maniac.
How'd y'all like the remake of Maniac, by the way, with what's his name from Lord of the Rings? He starred in
Elijah
I heard
Wood.
It's quite good. Yeah,
the remake. That's how. I didn't mind the remake of Maniac. That's how I think that's how a remake should be made. Like, don't be exactly like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, change it up a bit.
I think every shot is a point of view of the killer in the remake, which works well. Yeah, I didn't love it, but I mean, it was okay.
I don't love it either. It's probably like a 5 out of 10, maybe a 6, maybe. But
yeah.
Wild Wrangler says, all y'all thoughts on Best Buy physical media? Yeah, that shit's over with.
Yeah, it's March. Yeah,
right.
Chris did a video, I think, on that.
Yeah, Dead Pit did a video. CK
I did my
a
rant
video
bit on it. You know,
Yeah.
I
It
just
don't
feel for
affect
people
me
like Tony.
personally, but
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you pull one out too, Chris? About
Yeah, it was a big rant about that because for
Hmm.
me, it's like it is what it is. They package it crappily anyway and stuff like that. Last time I
Yeah.
was there, when I was actually shopping there, they're starting to redo their shit, you know, and
kind
it
of
was
sucks
just
though.
the
Like,
kiosk.
I do remember the experience of going into Best Buy, and you had all that shit, man, and that's just over with.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't do
done.
that shit anymore.
Yeah, it's done.
Uh,
Yeah, March of next year, it's over. But I really just feel for people like Tony because the one near him no longer carries it. The one where he works at still does a bit, but he's like going, you know, it's like so.
Gizmo says, Chris Evans, the mother foo, Captain America got married. Can we all give him a shout out? Maybe he finally lost his virginity.
Yeah, he just got married today.
I know me and Darren is like Han Solo. Jabba the Hutt when it comes to what is a slasher. I don't see Maniac as a slasher. I see it as a terror film. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of works.
It's
that's interesting. Yeah.
it's like I think Spinell summed it up perfect. What he said. It's it's a suspense film with very very damn. Let me go back to the shit. I don't want to misquote him.
It's kind of too good to be a slasher film in a way. It's too well made.
Yeah, it's a
It
suspense
is. It's a
film.
really well-made film. Yeah.
A suspense film that delivers on the murder scenes.
Yeah,
you
I would
can
call
put
it a
this-
slasher, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
can put
terror.
this right with Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. They would play good double feature, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or like Christmas Evil as well, I would say.
Yeah,
Kind of go with this.
right. Same realm for sure. But remember to be angry if someone else call you Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like remakes much, but the Elijah remake don't feel like a remake. Could be called something completely else. I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I get why they do that though, because if they call it something else, they're not gonna get nobody's gonna watch it as much as they would with that same damn title. You know,
It's
Yeah.
like
that's the whole reason they do that shit.
Yeah, same thing. Two totally different films.
But yeah. So I guess we're gonna get into dark games or nightmare in a damaged brain,
Blood splash,
or nightmare, or nightmares in a damaged
brain,
or you heard about the guy going around he was going around the world with the damn brain in a jar, and
you reversed the cover. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's the old Video Nasty artwork right there. But there was a guy going around with a brain in a jar and asking people to guess the weight of the brain when he was promoting this film, and he got the wrong kind of attention.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
it's like how heavy is
like one of the worst Video Nasties.
I've got fucking about every edition you can get of this.
Yeah. You got that
the
one,
old Code Red as well.
And then that's what I got. I got this German release.
I actually haven't got that one, but yeah.
I like that side slip though. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
With the side slip.
Oh, that's a new one, is it? You mean?
No.
Is that one?
No, that's a DVD one.
Oh no, yeah. DVD. Sorry. Oh yeah, I'm with you. Now.
This is a German release, but it's got some couple cool little features on it. But anyway, do you want me to start on this one, or do you want to start?
Yeah, you could start, and then I don't mind either way.
I can give a synopsis, or y'all can. It don't matter either way. Let me know.
Yeah, go on. You can give it a start if you want. But try and get this done in like 15, 20 minutes, so Chris can get.
All right, guys, take your time. We're all good. We're on good time. You're fine.
Okay.
We'll just film anyway.
So the synopsis I got, I actually wrote it down from the old VHS. So,
nice.
Which is in this release in a book, but I'm gonna just read it out. I thought it was cool. So I usually don't do shit like that, but so not for the faint-hearted. Nightmare is a very terrifying film that explores the violent, twisted workings of the mind of an uncontrollable psychopathic murderer. Upon his mistaken release from a mental hospital, George Tatum embarks on an odyssey that begins in Times Square and porn palaces. My bad, yeah. Okay. He is continually tormented by a bloody, gruesome, and explicit nightmare of the axe murders and decapitation of a love-making couple. I can't hardly read that shit. Damn it.
It's a big synopsis, anyway.
Its compulsive force drives George to head south in Daytona Beach, Florida. A babysitter has her hands full with three children with three children whose mother is divorced, off with her new boyfriend. One of the children, a boy named CJ, is always up to some prank or another. He relishes in scaring his babysitter as well as his mother. Having cried wolf once too often, CJ's mornings go unheeded when he tells of a strange man lurking around the house. A series of mysterious phone calls ensues, and soon the bloodbaths begin graphically convincing depictions of murder and mayhem combined with numerous sexual situations to make this film a thriller you won't want to watch just before bedtime. And that's the Continental Video VHS release.
Nice
synopsis. So
that definitely sums it up really well.
I can do a quick I'll do synopsis and the tagline. Like you say, the synopsis: a mental patient embarks on a murder spree upon escaping from an institution. And the taglines, this is funny because I got this from IMDb, from the man who terrified you in Dawn of the Dead and Friday the 13th.
Right. Yeah. We're going to come on to Savini because without jumping the gun, I happen to think Savini's a fucking liar. I really do, because I've seen a lot of the interviews I've with Savini with Michael Felcher on the extras to this.
Yes,
and he's a bullshitter. Because what I don't know if we want to get into that now, or we could mention it now. Basically, Tom Savini did supervise one of the effects in this film. He went round, he told everyone that he had nothing to do with the film. He wasn't on set until he got fucking found out that
that's bullshit.
The director had a photo of him on set. And then he's trying to make out that, he didn't really want to put his name on the film because all he did was supervise that. And so he completely had to change his story. But the true story, I believe, that the director said, Savini fucking knew that when his name was on the film, he asked them for a hell of a lot of money, and this was a staggering amount of money.
Yeah.
And they said no, and he got fucking his butt hurt, and then that was that. But that's just my own take. But I think he's a liar, and I think if you see the interview, you can see fucking lying as well.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Controversial as ever, but
right. It's good when it's good.
But yeah, man. So this starts out. This guy's in a mental institution. He's got a doctor. He's in this, and that's filmed in a real insane asylum.
Nice.
On location. So the scene where you see him looking in the mirror and all that shit,
right?
And they're looking at him. That's what we see. We're looking at him, but he's looking in the mirror just looking crazy. But the director said that he got the idea from reading in the New York Times about the MK Ultra drug. Experiments with MK Ultra. That's what sets this film apart from the others, because I think it's saying that the drug itself is why he is doing what he's doing.
Because they talk about that too when his doctor and the dude that runs the whole place are going back and forth about that. Like, It's like going, no, he's fine, dude. He's on the meds. The meds are working and stuff like that. Like,
Right.
how do you know that? You know, it's like,
and they release him off into the damn world, but it's so weird too though because he keeps having these visions of little CJ,
it's like
CJ
past
shit.
tense.
Like and I don't know how if we're gonna spoil this. I kind of gotta spoil it. Or do we got?
There's no way you can discuss it.
You can do it. It's fine. I mean, I love the ending.
I hate to spoil this one though. Damn. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna.
Well, there's
just something I wanted to ask y'all about because the actor Baird, the lead actor, he can't stand the one line at the end on the other cut from the mother. He can't stand that line. He's like, it totally is bullshit. But I thought, you can look at the film several different ways with that, like with both cuts of the movie.
Right, I didn't see the other cut, but
I don't know what you
go ahead and say it. Don't worry about spoilers. Tell me, so I want to know now.
Well, at the very end, she says, "That's my husband."
Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay, and so that's not in the theatrical. That's not.
Okay, right.
So that kind of changes the whole fucking thing. So to me, like him being the, father, it's so fucking crazy. Like that
serial killer dad.
I'm thinking of it that way.
Yeah.
But
you don't see it coming either because there's no real. Obviously he's the killer. He's going on this spree, but. That is like a really good twist. I thought I didn't see that coming. So.
Right, but that would take the twist away if that's not the case. If that line is taken out, then then that's not even the twist. It's just him randomly going to these motherfuckers. He's telepathically connected to this boy CJ.
Right.
Because he finds the house.
They're both seeing each other's shit, right?
It's like he's outside the house. He says there's a man outside. Don't see him. You can tell he's conflicted. That's what I love about him. He's conflicted. It's like a totally different person.
The mom is a total bitch. I gotta say,
God, she's the worst mother in fucking movie history. I think
she really
is better than she is.
I mean, it's like that's why he's acting out. Like, get a grip. She's just constantly giving him shit. All she's worried about is getting her fuck on with some other dude.
Exactly. Yeah, on the boat and all that.
On the boat.
And but Baird, so listen to this commentary. The lead actor, he's kind of a dickhead too. I'm like, God, no, man, like he's so serious. I won't go into that too much, but anyway, this guy, he's released from the mental hospital. He's in Times Square. He's going to these peep shows and shit, and you can tell there's something off about this guy, and he just starts fucking hitting the floor, fucking going in convulsions and shit. And the guy that's playing that shit, Baird, what's his last name?
Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford. He plays the shit good, and he was complaining about the glycerin spray because they kept spraying him with glycerin. To make him look sweaty and shit.
Oh, sweaty and stuff like that. Yeah, there's certain scenes.
There's one scene where he's like fucking going in convulsions and like it's the scene where he's having the flashback of the woman smacking the dad and shit.
Yeah.
And he's going into convulsions and the fucking that's Alka-Seltzer coming out of his mouth.
Right. Yeah, frothing.
And it went into his eye and shit. And he said how it burned the shit out of him or whatever. But
he fucking slags everyone off as well, doesn't he? But he just comes across as a complete asshole.
He is a total dick, man. Like,
tall dude. How tall is he?
He only gave credit to one other actor, and that's the little Tony kid that gets killed.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was an actually good actor.
Like, oh my God! And then you just see him right behind him. I'm like, oh, it's like,
this one, man. This one plays on a few things. Like I can keep going back to it, especially because I kind of like the other angle, like the director's cut. I like the other cut better because you have the mystery and everything.
Yeah,
and then you can look at it so many different ways too. Because in all fairness, like he's really fucked up because of this MK Ultra shit. You know, this MK Ultra drug that they've given him. But unlike the other two films that we just talked about, like, you know,
the reason they don't really give the reason, do they, why he's why he was committed in the first place. I think it's just implied after CJ was born that he left like the family home for some reason, but it's never you're never told, which is good.
They never talk about it.
But there's definitely a connection, and that's what the director wanted to be in there,
like a psychic connection. You mean? Yeah.
Well, the line from the mother at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, because it makes no sense that he would be stalking his family.
He tells the children to leave the house. He says,
but there's a plot hole with that.
Yeah, he warns them. Yeah,
well, there's a plot hole with that as well, because there's a scene where she says, his name is Bob.
Yeah,
his dad, and he's only good for sending money. He only sends paychecks.
Yeah,
or whatever. So that kind of fucks that idea up. But I overlook it. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna
go. Like the scene where it shows him walking through New York on the street like that. I like the camera angle. I like that a lot.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, with this trench coat on, he goes into that club and he sits down. He kind of wants to touch the chick, but he doesn't do it. He's like this, like that. I'm like, wow, look at this, dude. It's like,
that was all shot real as well in a real peep show. And I think they had to hire the peep show for like one day or something.
It gets blurred a little bit from the film. You see it from certain with the ladies and stuff like that. They blurred a little bit.
So I found it interesting that the Baird guy, he did his own dubbing, his own voiceover work.
Okay.
Right.
And then he also talked about, which I would have loved to seen the scene. So there's a scene on the beach where he's buried in the sand and he's got a clown mask, a jester mask on.
That's right.
A grotesque jester mask on. And CJ sees him and he's like, he reaches to try to grab him, tries to grab CJ. So CJ runs back to his mom and sisters and her boyfriend, and then they go to look, and then there's nothing there but the mask. The mask is there.
Yeah.
So then they're like, "Oh, you just saw the mask." You know that they play it off.
There's only like one photo of that scene that remains, or like it just went on the cutting room floor. But I got written down here, actually, that the reason he was committed. Actually, there was a reason. I got it written down. He was a suspect in like sexual mutilation and murder of a Brooklyn family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I forgot about that.
Like what was it? The scene with the
I've seen this film several damn times. Like I can't believe I've never.
Well, it's the scene with I think it's the scene with the babysitter, right? Isn't he on the roof or there or something like that? She goes out to check something. That's when he wakes up. So I'm thinking maybe that was the murder of that family or something like that.
There's a couple things that scratch my head.
That don't make sense, kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, like, so at the end scene, the very end scene, is that his mom, or is that a hooker that's on his dad? When his dad's tied up on the bed.
I was confused by that, but it's his mother.
I think it's a prostitute.
Okay, they said it's a mother, but everyone thinks it's a hooker. So.
I thought it was a hooker, but when you look into it, it's definitely his mother, which just doesn't make sense because
that scene is visceral.
Boy, it doesn't. So I'm guessing he just didn't like seeing his mother beat the shit out of his dad.
Basically,
doing? And that's another thing. So that's another thing. Why would they be doing that shit when his ass is about to be home from school and they got their door open? Well, at least lock your damn door. Like, what are you doing? But. Anyway, I could pick it apart, but I mean, it's just a few things that bother me, but I still love this fucking movie. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
There's a scene where his car breaks down, right? Then you see him in the bar. Yeah. Then it leads up to that scene in the
I gotta say, I can't recall. Unless y'all can think of one, I can't recall another film where when the killer kills someone, as soon as he does it, he fucking just breaks down and holds their dead body and is in complete fucking remorse. It's like, so that's that drug.
Yeah.
It's because you see how he is when at certain times he's all like fucking weird looking.
Yeah.
Like when he's like coming behind the chick when she's on the phone. And by the way, that shot Argento stole.
God, from Canterbury. Yeah, absolutely.
From Canterbury, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
And you know, when she's hanging the phone up and then you see him right behind her.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of like walks up there.
But you see his facial expression, it's different. It's like this menacing looking expression. And then as soon as he kills a motherfucker, then he's fucking like in complete fucking remorse.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's a slow thing too, a la like a giallo type of thing where he takes that knife and slowly puts it in her, like almost like he's
and he's why he's doing it.
We're like making love to her.
He goes back to his other
because he's kind of thrusting the blade, right? And then he just kind of breaks down like that. I'm like going, oh, he's getting off on this. You know, the scene where he's in his apartment or wherever he's at, right? He's waking up all sweating. That's where he takes those pills, to your point. He's like, oh, like that, you know, and like all this stuff. It's like...
That's what I'm saying. This movie, you can look at it many ways. I feel like out of these three, I feel this one has got more questions.
It does. Yeah, a lot.
For me,
I think the original cover looks like a Hammer film, really, to tell you the truth, like that old school Hammer type looking film when I see it.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most low budget out of the three. I think it's probably more low budget than Don't Go in the House. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the film is just one on its own. I'll tell you.
It was only made for like $250,000.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But like, you got the creepy phone calls leading up to, you know, to what I think is probably like an amazing like last 20 minutes.
Oh, so how did he get that number too? So that's what I keep going back to. That's got to be the husband. But they must have just fucked up somewhere when she's talking about Bob.
Well, she's trying to sell the house too. Yeah. So she's trying to sell that house too, right?
Yeah.
But Bob's the actual lover, isn't he? That's the name of her lover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't notice that, Darren.
They fucked up somewhere on, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I guess you're going to get that with an Italian director. You know, I'm guessing that's what happened. Some got lost in translation somewhere.
The child's name is CJ. The actor's name is CJ. I found that interesting. They just changed the last name.
Yeah.
He was probably like a really good actor, apparently, that kid.
And that mask is a Bob Post mask, by the way.
Okay.
It's a Bob Post mask, and it's supposed to have been a pirate. And they just took the headband off the damn thing.
Right, took it off there.
But the lead actor said he thought it was Abraham Lincoln.
That'd be interesting.
But
that's got to be one of the creepiest fucking masks in history.
Yeah,
like it's really creepy.
Yeah, that's a creepy ass mask.
It's almost like I said. It's a good serial killer film. It's like when they're all going to the place and stuff like that. They're all in the car and stuff like that. It's like, I know he's in Florida, right? Where they're kind of discussing that. He's like, he has to be in Florida. He's like, he won't be there. Yeah, he is. And that's when the dude that smokes the cigar and all that other shit, that always wears that nice suit and all that other shit, says, oh, I know where he's going. He's going back to wherever, you know? And I'm thinking, oh, okay. You know, a little bit when you think about it, like going back to the house. Almost like a Michael Myers thing, right? He's going back home.
That's great, because the end, like when we come on to the ending, the actual way of his demise is very much like Michael Myers.
Yeah,
you know, because he's almost indestructible at one point.
Sure,
you know.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but I just keep leaning to that's got to be CJ's dad. That's how I got it in my mind. It's probably going to stay that way. You know what I mean?
The slow scene with the babysitter, and then his buddy being in there, and he happens to be out. CJ happens to be outside, and he has that creepy look to him, right? It just has it, you know. And
when the film ends, and he's like, then that's something I was going to bring up here too. Like, so do y'all think that possibly, you know how CJ's like a prankster and shit, right?
Yeah.
So maybe CJ was doing all this shit. Have y'all ever thought about it that way?
I did. It came to my kind of attention with that. I can see that. Like
he's controlling him, like somehow.
Yeah. Almost like a figment of his imagination, but it's not, like my best friend you don't know about, to do like
dirty work. I'm saying. This film has so many fucking questions. Yeah. You can go down so many different rabbit holes and theories on this one. You know what I mean?
It's like that scene at the house with the young boy, like you saved. Like they question CJ actually saying did he do it or didn't he?
Yeah, the detective or the officer. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got that girl as well in the fucking wheelchair.
Yeah.
With the rats. That's so creepy.
And I heard that actress, she was fucking terrified of that scene. Like with
that's very real. I mean, they're acting like actual officers.
Those were white rats that they dipped them in charcoal.
Oh God.
I read that. Yeah. Crazy.
Nice.
Crazy.
Very nice.
But and the guy that produced this, David Hamilton Grant, he's like a big time UK. You probably know more about him than I do. But
I've heard of him, yeah.
He's like a big time, like they said he was a pioneer of sexploitation in the UK and worldwide. But they gave him 18 months for this movie.
In jail.
And he ended up doing 6 months in prison.
Sheesh.
And then they said like later on, and he was like wanted in 4 different countries because he would always cross the line. I respect motherfuckers like that though.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit.
There's some kind of
laughed it off. He laughed off doing his 6 months. He was just like, who gives a fuck?
Whatever. Yeah.
Is there like a documentary on the new release as well to do with him? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
there's a third disc and it's a documentary on this one, Damaged, and it's all about that guy.
Yeah.
Right, I didn't get to see
This is a great release by Severance. Severance
I just got through watching it before we came.
This is a great release by them.
So that's why it's so fresh. But
did you notice the one scene with the ball coming down the stairs was fucking totally lifted from The Changeling?
Yes, I did.
And also, there's another homage to The Shining. I felt like with the door scene.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Going through the door,
Yeah. There's also a little nod to The Exorcist as well, where you got CJ asking the boyfriend, "Are you going to be my dad?" type of thing.
Yeah.
She fucking does that with Bert Dennings in The Exorcist.
Right.
So I think there's a few little nods going on.
Well, the boyfriend was actually cool to him. The Tommy Chong stand-in.
Yeah,
he looks like a Tommy Chong lookalike.
He does.
If you've seen him from the back or whatever. But
looks kind of like a hippie and stuff like that,
The mom is a total bitch, man.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
Like, son of a bitch.
Like no wonder
the actor who played the boyfriend was actually they basically used all the cameras. He had all the cameras and all the equipment. He wasn't really particularly an actor, I don't think. So they just got him off to play the boyfriend.
Yeah, they got these kids from some kind of children film school or something.
Yeah.
Like they weren't very experienced. And that's what the lead actor Baird Stafford kept saying, that if you notice that most every one of the kids in the film, they all like subliminally are kind of looking at the camera. Like they don't play it off, like, you know what I mean? Except the one kid, Tony. The one kid, Tony, he did his part pretty good. But
so do you want to just quickly wrap it up, because I know Chris gotta go, but do you want to kind of talk about the ending? That leads up to the ending?
Yeah, go ahead.
So you kind of tracks this family down. We get the phone calls and all that. But when he actually gets to the house, they kind of see him in the window, don't they, when they take a photo, because he's trying to sell the house.
Yeah.
And he's kind of just fucking hiding in the house waiting for him.
He is.
I think the whole scene with CJ is fucking superb. Just the way he stalks him in the house, and then for this little kid to be kind of as intelligent as he is, to fucking grab a gun and then, you got the whole Michael Myers thing where he's been shot so many times, he just keeps coming back.
Yeah,
it's an homage.
It's got to be that drug, right? The drug is keeping his ass going.
Something's fucking. I don't know if he's kind of, you know.
Just with the whole thing, it's like he kills the adults or the youngins. He won't kill the kids and stuff like that. And you see that, like him trying to open the door. Of course, CJ there, you know, just waiting. Then like he's almost like begging him, "No, please don't, please."
That's because they're his kids, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, so he gives the warnings, like you say. But just like when he comes up the stairs, I just find that fucking, like you say, the Shining scene. It's like, fuck, man. And even when he gets shot, man, you know, you can fucking feel it. You if you're watching it, and it's really the way the killer light starts, kind of the things that's coming out of his mouth, his reactions is creepy as fuck. The way he screams, and the way he talks, like mumbles, and oh man, it's so creepy.
Yeah,
it's creepy stuff.
Fucking superb, fucking. Performance.
Thinking about that,
I don't know why this one gets hate. This one gets some hate. I don't understand it, but
I don't think so much now. But when it first came out, this was really hated. No one, like, people would say it's boring, it's this, it's that, and I feel the same way now as I did the first time I watched it, and that's 20 years ago. I fucking love this film.
Yeah,
I absolutely love it. I could watch it any time.
Right.
It's up there in that genre for me. Yeah, definitely.
Do you find it boring, no, Chris, or did you?
No, I loved it.
Attention?
For me, like with horror books and with films, you have to give me dread. You have to have me feel scared, creeped out, and all that shit. Yeah. This slasher, which I believe it is, does it for me. It's a serial killer slasher film. All these films are, you know.
Yeah, definitely psychological.
You have the psychopath. You know, like I say, with the kill with the woman in her house that he sees at the bar. And what they do, they track him there because his car breaks down and he's like, okay, I'll just go here and stuff like that. With just the slow with the knife just in there, like he's making love to her to me. He's like going back and forth like that. Yeah. It's just like, dude, that's crazy.
And then the girl on the beach, you know, he's just like, or is that the same girl when he's dropped? No, that's a different one, right? When he's on the beach, I just remember that scene.
Yeah, he drops her off.
He's just like fucking crying over her dead body.
Yeah, because he's digging like a grave for her and stuff. That's right. Yeah, and like
so weird. You don't really see a killer do that in too many films.
Because it was done in Italy and in the U.S., but it was done in was it Merritt Island, in Florida? I believe it is. So it was
Cocoa Beach. It was Daytona Beach and Cocoa Beach.
Yeah, Cocoa Beach. Because when the car breaks down, it looks like it's around that area.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell it's Florida, especially like when CJ's on a bike and you see this other girl walking, and you see all the palm trees and shit. That's Florida. That's Florida all the way. But,
yeah, boating players.
What do you think about the Tom Savini kind of? I know we just mentioned it, but do you believe like that he?
I know he did. There's a picture of
he advised in the film
on the set.
But do you think, like I said at the start, do you think that I'm right, you think he's a liar, or do you totally go with what he says?
Well, I know the picture don't lie. So he was on the set.
But he's backtracked on that picture now because he knows he's had to backtrack.
Yeah.
So now he's saying, oh yeah, I was there, but I fucking basically only supervised this.
He's known to bullshit before with a lot of stuff. I know he helped advise. I didn't put down the person who did the
That's funny though, because if I see him next year at Texas Frightmare, I'm gonna ask him.
Shit.
Like if you have a poster of Nightmare, have him sign it. See what he says.
I'll take.
Someone's done that, Mike. Someone did that.
Now sign this for me, please.
Yeah.
And be like,
sign that for me.
Yeah.
There's a guy on YouTube I used to follow. I think it used to be called Slasher Index.
Yeah.
And he got fucking Savini to sign the poster, but he covered it up so he didn't know he was signing it, Nightmare poster. So yeah, that is one out there. It's definitely been signed by him.
But yeah, he did advise during the film. I mean, he advised how stuff looks. You can tell this has with the effects and the kills and stuff. This has Savini's name all over it. I mean, how can you not think that? You know.
Right.
So, but it's a 9 out of 10 slasher film for me. for what it is. Yeah, like I say, stuff during this time is like awesome. All these films are way up there.
I would say it's definitely 9 as well. All 3 of them are 9s for me, but one of them slightly got the edge. Don't Go in the House, but yeah.
I give Don't Go in the House and Nightmare in a Damaged Brain, Nightmares in a Damaged Brain. I give them both an 8. I give Maniac a 9.
That's a good fair.
Maniac's
Maniac's less confusing. You know,
it's not just that. I love being confused. I actually do. Yeah. Like, I love trying to solve the puzzle, and that's what's going to make Nightmare highly rewatchable for me.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
always going to be thinking, like, what the?
Oh, well, I think all 3 of them are highly rewatchable.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Nightmare's it's got that extra something to it. Like,
it's gritty. It's like grindhouse feel.
I haven't completely figured it out. You know.
The actor that plays the psychiatrist is a piece of shit. He's definitely an idiot. He says, he's fine. He's fine. And the director dude, the glasses, is like going, how can you say that when, it's like, it has to be this person that's doing this stuff because they find out about it. It's like, and you let him out. The typical, Halloween type of thing. You let him go. What's wrong with it?
It's a big take on the CIA with the MK Ultra. That was the whole reason that he made the film.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It's the same type of synopsis with that.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm gonna catch the chat right quick, and then I guess we'll get up out of here. Let's see. Gizmo says, but that's just Hollywood in a nutshell. Fucking Hollywood. Sell it. One names everyone knows. Do it like Bollywood and have a music number in it. Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, cash grab. Hollywood. Texas says, I didn't see the new Exorcist film yesterday and I liked it. I think of it as a standalone film.
Okay.
There's a few people I've seen like it.
Okay. Follywood.
Bollywood, yeah.
Gizmo says, I don't believe you, Texas, but I still respect you. It's the first film I will not watch at all, just because I know it is shit and because of the Hollywood and David Gordon P. Well, I wanted you to direct it.
Yeah.
The Strange Man Around the House is dirt. Yeah, probably so. Gizmo says, if I directed it, I can promise you 90 minutes in bed with strippers and crucifix and maybe the Bible if they are lucky. Now that's a film, Gizmo. Adam, thanks for being here, man.
Hey, man.
Why do you guys think there are more serial killers in the United States than any other country in the world? I don't think that there are. I think that the media just covers it more.
You want to talk about foreign serial killers, the Angel of Death, that the Slayer song is about. That's about a Nazi doctor. I forget the dude's name. Yeah, he's supposed to have had killed the most out of anybody. So, but yeah.
That's during the Holocaust, basically. Yeah. But with that question, I think I read a really strange fact that there's so many serial killers now at this fucking moment in time while we're actually talking here, going around America killing. It's fucking crazy.
There's supposedly one in Seattle called the Seattle Butcher. I don't know if that's true or not, but they supposedly have not found that person yet. That's supposedly a serial killer. Yeah,
I've seen that. I think there's a couple of famous cases. There's one at the moment going to court. I think he was in New York. He did the killings in New York. And there's the Delphi murders as well. They seem to have got a guy for that.
Have a suspect with that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to court, I think, as well.
The prosecutors are not the prosecutors. The defense is saying it's a cult that killed those kids. I don't believe that, but that's an interesting synopsis. On what
because when they were like fucking arranged in this really weird way.
Yes.
So it's kind of put the whole case of that, because I've been following that, and it's kind of turned it on its head. Now with all this fucking satanic fucking shit angle to it.
Gizmo says, Darren, have you time tonight? Then watch Scarface and Goodfellas. You will thank the Lord of or me that you did?
I still got to watch 3
Yeah.
films for tomorrow night for the Rotten stream.
Oh shit! I
Scarface
got one.
is my
I got
favorite
one left to watch.
Brian De Palma
for the
film.
Rotten.
So
And Warango says, "What a twist." Gizmo says, "Wrangler, if you want a good twist, you have to watch Wasp Woman. You will never believe what the woman is turned into."
ask Ellen about that.
Gizmo says, "I hope you get forced to."
To see Fuck Me Tomorrow, Texas.
Please fuck me tomorrow. Okay. What about Bob?
Yeah, what about Bob?
We'll see, Gizmo. Fuck the Nun 2 has already made back its budget, so that means they will keep on making those shitty remakes. Yeah. You have some weird privilege when you don't even want to kill kids. I mean, what's going on in this world?
Yeah.
Darren, after the stream, look up Bella Guinness after the stream. That's a great serial killer story in America.
From Norway? Yeah. I know what he's talking about.
I've never heard that.
I've heard about it. All right.
Yeah. But yeah, this has been fun, y'all. I've been looking forward to it. Hopefully we covered them good enough for everybody. If anybody had anything to add, if anyone had anything to add, just spill your beans.
Just a great suggestion that Darren had for these 3 films. I had 2 of them, went and bought the other one, which is Don't Go in the House and stuff like that. And I'm glad I have these, and I'm glad I watched them. As a slasher dude myself, I just love this shit a lot. Just love getting into these earlier films because I've watched a lot of slashers in my time. This is top tier right here. These are just top tier stuff right here. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Scream 6 can slit its wrists and jump off a bridge for all I care. I plan on doing something about the franchise and the death of, to me, the death of the final girl. I mean, seriously. But yeah, that movie, I'm just going to say that one last time. That movie's straight up trash. I think I gave it too good of a review when I watched it initially. But yeah.
I've not seen
Scream 6.
Yeah, Scream 6. Yeah.
Did you like Scream 5?
Scream 5's a little bit better.
Fuck no. Scream 5 is fucking 5 cream.
I kind of like 5. I've seen 5. But I thought it was okay. I've only seen it once.
We don't need those ones in general. I mean, I have no problem with actors and actresses.
To be honest, man, Scream is just not really my shit anyway. I mean,
yeah,
it never has really been. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's like Ghostface. That whole thing is like, it's not even in the same realm of the other slashers. You know?
The first one is overrated because if you think that 15-20 minute scene with Drew Barrymore is some of the best in slasher movie history,
it is,
and it doesn't fucking, it's hard where to go after that because you cannot get as good as that all the way through, and it takes a nosedive.
He says dirt died inside. No, not really, dude. I don't love fucking Scream 6, dude. Like I got to keep reminding Gizmo, it's okay to like a movie. You don't have to love every goddamn movie.
Yeah.
But Scream 6, I haven't.
There's no purpose to it.
I haven't bought it. I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, there's no purpose to it. That was a waste of $30 buying that 4K.
It's not that crucial to me.
I prefer part 2 anyway over fucking all of them.
Me too. I like part 2 better.
I like the first one. If I'm going to watch any of them, they should have only made the first one and just left the shit alone. I mean, especially like Ghostface being a different person every fucking time. Like, the fuck out of here with that shit. Like, or 2 people every time. Yeah. Whatever. 3 fucking people, whatever. But,
But I just want to thank Chris for coming on.
Absolutely,
probably the first person I thought of with these films.
Right.
I was surprised that he'd never seen Don't Go in the House, but I'm just relieved that he liked it.
Yeah.
And if we do more slasher ones in the future, you're welcome on whenever, man. Just let us know.
Absolutely. No, thanks y'all for having me on. It's always great coming on here and stuff like that.
I just hope we haven't put you late for work. That's all.
Never. No, it's fine. I'd rather talk about this anyway. It's all good. So I worked overtime last night anyway, so I'm like, it's always good here.
Texas says this is great as always. Appreciate it, man.
Cheers, Tex.
And we can talk about these films. It's great.
Great stream, guys. Thanks for answering my question. Yeah, man. Yeah, I
try to always go through the chat
unless we got like 6 people in here or some shit, then it's kind of hard.
Yeah, good to have you on board, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, dirt dying inside. No, not so much. You start talking about some shit from the 70s and 80s now. We'll I'll have to come over here to fucking Norway. But wow, Wrangler, good job. I appreciate it, man.
Thank
you. Have a good
Cheers.
rest of the weekend. I think Gizmo's got a stream later that they're going to be ranking. I think they're going to be talking about John Carpenter.
Yeah, 21. Oh, I think it's 21.
They're going to rank his films. Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, him and Pop's Movie Dungeon, my boy Alan, and then of course my man Anthony's Horror and More is going to be on there with him and stuff like that, and just going through their top favorite John Carpenter films. So that should be a good time. Definitely check that out, everybody.
Yeah,
it's great content.
So it's basically done 21 films.
Is Ghost of Mars.
Right.
Well, that's a masterpiece. What are you talking about?
So if you think about it, he's done the same amount of films as Dario Argento.
Right?
Yeah. Crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I wonder how many people would put them up against each other.
Night Train Murders is second best. You are right, Gizmo.
Yeah.
It is second best.
Gizmo, yeah, that's correct. Last House on the Left is the superior film. We all know
the superior film. That's right.
We've already talked about this.
David Heston got an Oscar for his performance.
Those comedy cops kill it for me.
It's pretty bad.
I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't.
With Mr.
I don't even remember it until somebody brings it up. To be honest,
with Mr. Sweep the Leg, no mercy, sweep the leg. And I'm like, going, is that the same guy? Yeah, it is the same dude.
Let's see. Gizmo said, and we actually seen all of his films. Awesome.
I think I've seen all of his films, but
I'll take Ghost of Mars over Escape from L.A.
Whoa.
Yeah, I hate both of those. Both of those fucking movies can fuck off.
That's a hot take, Texas.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't like neither one of them, to be honest.
Ghost of Mars could have been something more. It could have been better. It could have been a lot better, but it wasn't. So.
Gizmo says, Dirk has tattooed Night Train Murders on his dick. Just be honest. Yeah. And then Cops and Chickens. Yeah, it's a great scene, man. Got to have a little comedy back then,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. That was probably Sean Cunningham's ass put through that shit in there.
Hey, now.
I doubt
Steve
it.
Miner is part of that too.
Yeah. But Wild says Escape from
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, Bruce Campbell's a shitty actor. I just got to put that out there for everybody. So
he's a character actor.
I actually thought he was all right, but yeah,
he's a character actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck
until I saw fucking Maniac.
But anyway, well, anything else y'all want to add before we get off here, man? I lost some viewers, So.
Well, good. I'm good to go. Yeah, great shit as always.
Okay, well, y'all good? Everybody's good?
Yeah. I think we said all that we could.
Yep. And guess we'll see y'all next Saturday. And we haven't figured it out yet, but we will.
All right.
Yeah. Have a good one, guys.
Take care / like everybody. See y'all next time.
Later, y'all.